General fund's got $89,784.98. Some of the others of interest, the operation pullover's got $8,661.79. I don't quite understand what happened with the auditor's office this year, that our local law enforcement continuing education fund is in negative balance, $4,507.62. They owed us $7,000. It's supposed to be given to us in June, and we finally got it late, I guess early August. Levy certification project still got $3,000 in it. I think that was money that was put in as a starter fund for it when they first started having it. Riverboat money's got $13,491.78. Accumulated capital improvements got $56,527.79. And the others we talked about with the other things. Everyone got a copy of it. They didn't get one, there's some on the table.
I need a motion then to approve the financial report.
Make a motion to approve financial report as presented.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Duke Street light proposal, still no report from Duke Energy. We did contact, at the last meeting, Rick Berger. He did get somebody on, over here, and I know that they were doing some engineering studies, so we're still waiting on the results of that. So that's just kind of an update on it. Okay. Specs, Jared, on paving. We have, you and I was gonna sit down, and since then you had a baby, and so we wasn't able to sit down and talk. We was gonna discuss the handbook and the, paving specs. He just returned back to work today, so he's proud papa, been on for the last couple of weeks, so that's what I had going on in his schedule. We just couldn't get together this month, so we'll have to try to sit down as soon as possible, so we can get things under control and we can get back and discuss those. Weed ordinance from trash, was you able to, I know you've been out of the office quite a bit, but was you able to find out anything on it?
I have found as far as you said, the weed ordinance with trash, we can't, in my opinion, that we can't basically commingle those funds and try to pay for one out of the other. I think the state board is not going to think it off, at least the research I've done is one kind of the other. And so I think it needs to be used for trash purposes. So if that's extra dumpsters or that could be.
Okay. Jim, on the Old National and renewing our president insurance program, you have some information on that?
Well, everything came in about the same money except for two items. The employees have had so many claims for workman's comp that we've gone from $15,000 to $38,000 in 2 years' time. And also, we need to get rid of some of these vehicles we're not using, but the insurance on them is $800 per unit. And we've got the old dump truck, the old wastewater truck, and I think another old pickup truck we hardly ever use.
That green Ford?
And we need to get rid of them, and so we don't have to pay for the insurance. But we got 23 units this year, we had 20 units last time.
Scott, is any of those vehicles, are any of those vehicles yours?
No, it's all street and water.
Street and water? Bob, where you at? Do you know which
Yeah,
vehicle?
the old Ford dump truck, 450, I think it was the sewer department, it was after it 54, and that little white Ford.
Okay, so, you, what do you want to do, just have an auction on them,
Whatever you want to do.
council members, what would you like to do? We can put them up for auction.
Be put out there too.
And they'll come in and seal the bids, we can advertise it.
Yeah, we'll have to check and see what that says on offer auction.
We have to claim those as a surplus, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so we'll have to claim them as a surplus and then auction them off.
You got a bunch of other stuff that needs to be got rid of over too. Just later, collect the dust, and get rid of it.
If we're not using it, if you get us a list and we'll get that passed through as, auction items, and we'll claim it as a surplus, and get rid of them if possible. Okay, additional appropriations, is that this number 15-6, Jim?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's we do the general fund, the two street funds, and the accumulated capital, basically by budgeting. You sold a piece of equipment from the motor vehicle highway fund, the total patcher for $32,000, which we've got the money. So I'm going to try to get the additional appropriations from the state for that. And that's a budget item, so we can't spend that money until I get the okay back to the state.
Right.
And then the other item is, $15,000 added money for.
Repairs and maintenance.
Right.
Okay.
Bob Couch has spent his money on all our old equipment, so we need to get some additional money.
Right, okay. So I'll read this additional appropriations number 15-6, whereas it has been determined that it is now necessary to appropriate more money than was originally appropriated in the annual budget. Therefore, section 1, be it ordered by the town of West Terre of Vigo County that for the expenses of taxing unit, the following additional sums of money are hereby appropriated out of the funds named and the purpose specified, subject to laws governing the town of West Terre Haute. So Fund 411 $7, a major budget classification, 436.00, repairs and maintenance, 15,000. I need a motion to accept that.
Make that motion.
Second motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Total in that fund is 15,000. Fund name 708, Motor Vehicle Highway Fund, major budget classification 436, equipment 32,000. Total for that fund would be 32,000. I need a motion to accept that appropriation of 32,000.
Make a motion to appropriate that 32,000.
Second that motion.
All those in favor?
I think there's 4 forms you need to sign.
Okay, anything else under additional appropriations? Scott Miller, police report.
With the rather large crowd, I have the copies as always. If somebody wants a copy, it's right back there by the door. Feel free to grab one when you're leaving. Our report for July, we were busy. We had 464 calls. That averages out to about 14.9 calls per day in July. Of those, we took 49 criminal case reports, and that gives us, at the end of July 31st, 345 criminal case reports for the year. In July, we made 7 felony arrests, 23 misdemeanor arrests, wrote 38 infraction citations, 0 ordinance citations, 42 written warnings. That is both traffic and ordinance warnings. Our crashes were a little high in July. We've been averaging about 3 or 4 in town. We've had 7 in July reportable crashes. For the public, they're not sure. The crashes are only reported if it's over $1,000 in damage to both vehicles, or there's somebody injured. So a lot of times these fender benders are not reported by state statute, but we had 7 reportable crashes. We had 28 new cases for criminal investigations, 5 of which are still open from July. That number is a little on the high side, although we cleared 1 out today. It's on the news when you guys get home. And also, we had 4 open from June, and prior to that, I did talk to Lieutenant Barkin, 3 of which are awaiting lab results from the Indiana State Police. So hopefully we'll start kind of getting some of these cases cleared up. So we've just been bombarded with a lot of burglaries and thefts and some other crimes. CID issued 5 warrants. Our reserves donated 409.75 hours. That number is drastically up from earlier this summer. Our top reserve officer was Reserve Patrolman Cody Strain, who donated 102.5 hours. Reserve Corporal Dave Todd donated 76.5 hours. And our new Reserve Patrolman Charlie Cummins donated 60 hours. We had 2 training sessions that we held in July. Patrolman First Class Caleb Talpas attended a traffic safety updates meeting at the Indiana State Police Museum in Indianapolis. He's representing the department. Basically, every law enforcement agency has to send one of their employees to one of these organizations, one of these training sessions with the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute. I also was able to go up to the academy. They loaned out a video for us for free. It was titled "In the Blink of the Eye: The Consequences of Tunnel Vision in Vehicle Pursuits." All of our full-time officers got their first hour of emergency vehicle operations, and they'll get their second hour next week doing some live driving. Again, that was free for us, which was nice. The academy produced it, and pretty much anything we want from them, they can loan out to us. Some of the other information for July: Officer Cody Strain did participate as a camp counselor at the Junior Police Academy that was held at Sierra Scott Middle School. He's a reserve officer. He did that on his own free time, so he's there all week, which we do appreciate that. On a negative note, as I'm sure a lot of people here are aware, on July 26th, Officer Ryan Martin was involved in an issue at his house on North 9th Street. I was contacted, and we let the sheriff's office take over that investigation. The end result being that he was placed under arrest for 1 count of misdemeanor domestic battery. By state statute, I need the town council to vote on placing him on what's called administrative leave. Basically, he's past his first year of employment as a paid officer living in the town, so he's entitled to all the due process rights. He's no longer considered a probationary officer when it comes to discipline. The way state statute reads, though, is anytime a law enforcement officer is facing criminal charges, the appointing board, in this case it would be the safety board of the town council, has the option of placing him on administrative leave. That can be with or without pay, and that's something you 3 need to vote on. If it's with pay, it's basically considered to be a suspension until the criminal course is adjudicated in court. If it's without pay, it's the same thing. We're just not paying him during that time period until the case is totally resolved in court. If it is without pay, there's no recourse he has. He can't sue for it because it's spelled out in state statute. So that's something I do need the council to vote on.
You have a recommendation on that?
I don't believe I can make a recommendation to you guys in this particular circumstance. I mean, also my recommendation is for administrative leave. However, it's the council's decision as whether or without pay. I've suspended him without pay up until the council could decide on the administrative leave.
I think my recommendation would be to suspend him without pay.
Administrative leave.
And then you guys can discuss that.
I accept.
All in favor?
I need a motion then, to suspend him without pay.
Administrative leave.
And on administrative leave.
Make a motion, we suspend the officer for administrative leave without pay until further notice.
I second that motion.
All those in favor?
And basically what that does, that stays the disciplinary process until the charges are adjudicated in court. If he is convicted of that charge, I think the town will have to terminate him. If he's not convicted of the charge, would have to have a secondary hearing in terms of discipline. We do have an active internal investigation going on, in addition to criminal charges for investigation on that.
Thank you, Travis. Okay, street report. Bob?
Didn't get back to the street report. The only thing we did was grade some alleys and come to a brush out of it, right to the old. Other than that, we've been on waterworks.
I want to thank everybody that showed up for the town cleanup. I think for as many people as we had, it was very effective, got a lot of areas cleaned up. Clark's gas station was cleaned up. We went down, several people went down and cleaned up at behind Marathon, the alley there, you couldn't get down yet. And Bob tried to run the street sweeper as long as we could. It kept breaking down on us. The we bought new pumps and relays, the things just get to the point where, we're gonna have to do something. We have Brown Equipment here, they have give us a quote on a refurbished machine. We discussed this at the last council meeting. He has, offered us $3,000 trade-in on ours. The machine, is a 605. Basically, if you have a minute that you can explain what all goes into refurbishing these machines and.
Sure, it's a bit different of a machine than what you have now. This is a vacuum machine, and not to get into too much detail, but it uses a suction as opposed to brooms and an elevator. So this is a chassis mounted machine that we got in on trade, and we stripped it down to the frame, hopper comes off, water tanks come off. It's totally rebuilt, basically from the ground up. It's a stainless steel hopper, so that's in good shape as well as the water tanks. But basically stripped to bare bones and rebuilt with any components you need. There's a fewer moving parts on this than what you have now, so that's good for not only rebuilding but also maintaining. So it's about a 3-month process in our shop of a guy or two on it every day going through it. So I think we had some pictures, yeah.
Yeah, we've got some pictures there if anybody would like to see the machine. It's, the warranty on that machine is how long?
It's a 6-month warranty, but with you guys not using it this winter, we'll probably relay it into the spring of next year too. So if you did purchase it and got it in say 30 days, you'd have probably 2 months of sweeping. So we give you 3 or 4 months of sweeping next year just to make sure all the big bugs are worked out. So.
Okay, and like we stated earlier, we did sell one piece of equipment, it was $32,000. We purchased a roller to help patch holes. We can put a down payment on this using those funds from the piece of equipment that we sold. This document that you give me, you have as a $20,000 pay down payment, but we're probably looking somewhere around $25,000 down. And then the rest would be paid out of edit dollars. Is that correct, Jim, for next year?
That's up to the council, how it works for me to pay for it.
But we could pay for it out of edit dollars, correct? Yes, but that first payment wouldn't be due until next year, correct?
Correct. Yeah, the first payment will do a year from after signing the papers with the financial, with the bank.
Council, do you need to see anything on this?
Pretty standard run, like before.
Right. Yes.
You can't do anything on that until it gets approved.
Right, I
You
understand.
can do it and everything, but you gotta make sure it gets approved.
The appropriations from the state. So the same thing with we made the appropriations tonight, as long as the state approves us to spend that money, then we would be able to do that. So can we, you guys have any comments or questions? He's here. Public have any questions for him?
What's the total cost?
The total cost of the machine is $80,000. What's that machine run new?
The town of Washington just bought a new one for $260,000, $259,500, I believe. The Speedway just bought one for right around the same price.
How much would it cost to take our sweeper to a certified mechanic to have him fix it? I mean, if we can get it fixed for $25,000, wouldn't it make more sense? Instead of paying on that, another one for a year?
There's a guy behind you, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's any bringing that sweeper back to good working condition. We do rebuilds on a lot of machines, and to be honest with you, we'll probably park that one out and scrap it. I'm sure the hopper's shot. And again, I mean, we gave a trade-in value, but if you guys wanted to put that in the auction, if you think it'll bring more than $3,000, we'd be perfectly fine with that. And again, we're probably gonna scrap it.
No. No, we got enough equipment sitting around, don't we? Well, do we want to wait till next month then and just make sure the appropriations go through? That'd probably be best. Okay. Okay, so we'll act on this one next month, and all the appropriations will be next month.
Okay.
Okay, thanks for
Yep.
driving down, appreciate your time. Yes. That's delivered, correct? And take the other one out?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. right, thank you.
Yep.
I have all that information up here if anybody would like to see it later. Also, I think everybody has a copy of this notice that Jim has put out, and we wanted to read this. This report has 3 sections. The first page is a December 31st, 2011 cash fund statement from Gateway. The balance of this fund is $840,889.26. The second part of this fund report for July 31st, 2015, it has a balance of $1,803,783.43 in all funds. Since the last election, the fund has increased $962,894.17. This balance of all funds has more than doubled since the present council and the clerk treasurer have been in office. The third section is how you get information through Gateway. All this is public information, and you're able to go onto the Gateway and look at all this information if you'd like. It's available to anyone. So this will enable you to get the yearly financial reports, the budgets for 2011 through 2015. We'll be working on the 2016 budget here next month and the month following. So, and the current indebtedness of the town, you will be able to get the 2016 budget sometime in September. So if you, I think everybody got a copy of this, you can kind of look through there and see where everything's at. And Jim has put that together for you all. Council, you have anything else under town? Nope. Clerk? Anything? Any motion to adjourn the meeting for the town of West Terre?
Make a motion to adjourn the town meeting.
I second that motion.
All those in favor? I'd like to call to order the meeting of the wastewater. I've read the minutes. I have no problem with the minutes. I need a motion to approve the minutes for the wastewater.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the wastewater.
I second that motion.
All those in favor? Jared, do you have anything under wastewater?
I do not.
Bills, I have no problem with the bills. I need a motion to pay the bills for the wastewater.
Make a motion to pay the bills of the wastewater.
I second that motion.
Those in favor? Clerk, I need the financial report, please.
The operating fund got $250,598.07. The bond interest has got $102,118.56. And the debt service has a balance of $114,750.
I need a motion to accept the financial report as given.
Make a motion to accept the financial report as given.
Agree.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to adjourn the meeting for the wastewater.
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting of wastewater.
Second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to call to order the meeting of the waterworks. I've read the minutes. I have no problem with the minutes. I need a motion to approve the minutes for the waterworks.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the waterworks.
I second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Bills, I have no problem with the bills. I need a motion to pay the bills for the waterworks.
Make a motion to pay the bills of the waterworks.
I second that motion.
All those in favor? Jim, the financial report for waterworks, please.
The waterworks operating has got $291,212.59. Depreciation, $62,452. Consumer deposit, $98,812.45. And the waterworks construction has $27,500. And, remember, the $291,000's got $100,000 payout.
So that more factual numbers around 191.
Because we got to transfer money.
Right. I need a motion then to accept the financial report.
Make a motion to accept the financial report as presented.
I second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Jared, anything underwater?
Nope.
Waterworks,
You know, we have 2 board orders in effect right now. I want to tell everybody, that board order ain't because the water's bad, anytime we take pressure down below 20 pounds, or we have to shut the water down to make a repair, we have to put a bore order by state law. That's the reason for bore order, not because the water's bad. And I have 2 holes open, one on 40, which I got to dig up more of it because the line's leaking further up. I didn't have the manpower today to finish the one on Woodman. It'll get finished up tomorrow. And we need flow meters put on both the pump houses at Ferguson Hill and Armory Hill. The reason for that, it helps us detect leaks on a creek crossing or this crossing up here in the woods from Paris Avenue to the Ferguson Hill pump house. If that leaks, we have no idea if we're leaking. If that flow meter's in place, that'll tell us we're losing a lot of water in that area. So it makes it a lot easier.
Yes.
Everything you need.
In that Commonwealth Board?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you want to pay them.
No, we don't. We've got
So I
that.
don't know if it's in Commonwealth or not, I'm just saying, if it's not, we need to ask them about putting it in there, because that'll let you know where your water usage is actually going, and all of a sudden one area is using 10,000 gallons or 20,000 gallons more a day, and you got the same residents, then there's something wrong. And if it's in a creek crossing, you got no way of knowing it unless it's down low enough that it's bubbling.
Yeah, I'll check in that, in Commonwealth's engineering report and see, make sure they put that in there. And that's what, I want to mention, one of the things is when I took office, a lot of the funds and the bonds were not funded. And any time that you're not in compliance with any grants that are out there, then you're not eligible to get any more grants. Since Jim has been in there and when Bill Thomas was president, our bond and interest was funded there for a while, and we had to borrow money out of other funds, but now all our finances are in order. That makes us eligible for grants. One of those grants is this water upgrade that we're looking at, replacing some of the 2-inch mains, looping some of the systems down by like Nancy's where the water just goes, the line's dead end. And what happens is that sediment will settle in those areas and cause brown water in those areas where it's not looped. The other thing is that we're looking at is the water treatment plant, which will also help treat the water with chlorine, phosphate, that'll all be injected into the system at the water treatment plant. And like I said, Jim's done a fabulous job getting the finances in order, and finally we're able to get these things done. I know it's been a long time, but it takes a lot of time to and then also we're going to be flushing hydrants. We're putting this on a 3-month schedule. Monday, August 24th, the 25th, and 26th. The south end of West Terre Haute will be on the 24th. Tuesday, August 25th, the north end of West Terre Haute. And then Wednesday, August 26th would be Toad Hop, Larmer Hill, and Ferguson Hill. Thursday, August 27th, Old Paris Road, Liggett, and Lower Sanford Road. And Friday, August 28th, the Thorpe Place and Sarah Myers Drive. So I'll make sure. Gary, do you have a copy of this?
Yes, man.
Okay, you've already sent it to Jerry. Yeah. Okay, so the Tribune Star, WTHI, WTWO, and West Vigo Times will all be notified. And then you'll also send out the text messages or emails.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. Last meeting, we had people saying that we could give text messages. We went in Gary's paper, ran ads the last 2 Saturdays, telling people that we would honor text messages to Lori Porter and notify you. You know how many people responded? Four people. And the group that was here last week, that was a real big deal, or last month. And, you know, we were awful because we weren't notifying people. We gave you the opportunity, and we've had 4 people respond in 5 weeks' time since that meeting.
Scott, you mentioned that treatment plant. I've been working with Steve up at Commonwealth.
Mhm.
The figures that he was giving when you guys started with them are correct?
On the usage,
Yes, they do not make sense. He told me, I got a text message from him and emails. I took the MROs up to him. He went through them as I had to for DNR afterwards. The figures are nowhere near right. 1 month, there was 1,348,000 gallons difference between the three figures. One month out of the year it was right. But he said if he can't get the accurate figures, if he designs the treatment plant for that amount of gallons, when you start off with it, you're gonna be outdated because your treatment plant's not gonna furnish it.
won't be able to handle the smells.
Because he's been reporting 7, 8 million gallons a month. I'm running 9 to 11.
But we can go off our, what we build, right? We can then get an actual number.
No, because they didn't match either. Emily was actually selling more water than Chuck was producing.
I mean, one of those numbers has to be right.
Yes, I understand.
The billing one has to be right.
I understand, but you got leakage also. So you're billing what goes through the meter, but you're not gonna take care of what.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So even, they're probably more used than what we're billing because
Exactly.
of the leaks in the.
You have a leaky system like we got, you're gonna produce more than what you're
Okay, I
billing.
see what you're saying.
We've got several months.
Okay, okay, I see what you're
You
saying.
have approved the flushing schedule, right?
Yes.
Scott, you know, we've talked about replacing the pipes and everything for a long time. When will it actually happen?
If everything would go through and, I mean, there's still a lot of things, we're still in the planning stages and all the finances. But they would break ground next spring maybe? It'd be 2016. I mean, that's how long it takes to get some of this stuff done.
Yeah, it's gonna be maybe late 2016.
Yeah.
Of course. It depends on how much grant money we get.
And that's the big decision making for us is, how much grant dollars we get, because that's gonna affect your rates. If we don't get enough grant dollars to do it, the rate's gonna be too high, then.
But the rates won't go up until the project's completed.
And Steve said that these figures is slowing him down also, because he has to get them right before he submits them. If he doesn't, then you're gonna get less.
Right. And he's trying to get us as much as he can.
I would like to say too, are we adding in there road repair? Because if we dig up something, that's additional money to fix where they dug up.
That's correct.
You
That
know,
is part
so
of the
you're,
project.
yeah, is it
And
in
that's-
part of the
that's
grant
why-
and all that stuff? Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't
the
read
roads will be
it.
back.
Okay,
And in the same way, when we put the sewer lines in, that's all figured in. So it also,
Right.
some of these roads that need to be replaced will get repaired.
right. And have you gone through them and not, because I know you guys are talking about repaving and where it's gonna get repaired, what would be the sense in repave that if we just have to dig it up and then repair it again? That's.
Right, yes. And that's what we're looking at.